Hey, this is Dr. John Heary, and today we're going to our second video on testosterone. We're going to talk about how you can boost it naturally. A lot of guys, as they get older, they don't feel quite like themselves. Some have told me that they feel like a shadow of their former self. They're not as strong as they used to be. Energy levels have gone down. Well, if that's the case, it's possible that you might be going through the so-called andropause. So andropause is the male equivalent of menopause, whereas testosterone levels are significantly lower. So that brings about a variety of unwanted effects, such as decreased energy, decreased cognitive function, decreased muscle mass, and sometimes even depression. The best way to determine whether or not you have low testosterone levels is by doing a blood test, as I mentioned in the first part of this video series. So let's talk about some natural holistic solutions that get you back to normal levels of testosterone. So there is a natural decline in testosterone that takes place. So, in men, testosterone is the primary sex hormone, and it's also an anabolic steroid. In both males and females, it plays a key role in health and well-being, as well as the development of your reproductive tissues and certain gender traits. Testosterone also aids in fat distribution around the body, as well as the growth and maintenance of muscle mass and also bone mass. Now, in males, the significant production of testosterone begins during puberty and continues to be produced throughout life. However, once a guy hits around age 30, the natural production of testosterone, it's going to start declining naturally. And because of that, many males report a decrease in their sex drive, and physical energy and mental energy. They also report that, strength goes down, cognitive sharpness decreases, muscle mass decreases. And, granted, for optimal physical and mental health, maintaining normal testosterone levels is important, during the older years. So, um, then there are many ways that you can increase your testosterone naturally, and so there's many things that you can do, as far as lifestyle choices that'll help boost your testosterone. So let's let's take a look at some of the things that have a negative impact on testosterone levels, and we want to reverse them for the better. One of the number one things that you can do is exercise. It's common knowledge, that exercising can be one of the best, preventative measures for, a whole, myriad of diseases. Even more so, resistance training, like lifting weights, has been shown to also boost testosterone levels, and it has an overall positive effect on your hormonal system. So, there's a fairly recent study that was done back in 2012 that shows concrete evidence that active elderly men have higher levels of testosterone, as well as they have better parameters concerning their semen, and also have better cognitive function as well. So, this leads us to believe that resistance training is without a doubt the best way to tell your body that, what, it's time to produce some more testosterone. And this makes sense because, weightlifting, implies intense, short bouts of muscular activity. These these demand testosterone to be mobilized for both energy release and also for recovery after your training sessions. So, one of the key takeaways, if you want to naturally boost your testosterone levels, lift, some relatively heavy weights, and you want to focus on squats, presses, and deadlifts. Those will be some of the lifts that tend to use the majority of your muscle mass. Number two, food. Besides training activity, what you eat afterwards also has an impact on your hormone levels. So with this in mind, we can say that, the more that you age, the more essential it is, for you to, track your calories, track your macronutrients. The most important nutrients for testosterone level are going to be proteins and fats, as shown by certain studies. Now, besides proteins and fats, which are essential for the body, one must consider consuming adequate amount of carbs, as a means of optimizing training performance. So when improved, training performance will greatly influence natural testosterone production. So you want to make sure that you combine relatively heavy training with proper nutrition in order to increase your testosterone production naturally. Now, number three, that's important when it comes to testosterone production is going to be stress management. One of the most prominent and impactful factors that have a negative impact on testosterone levels and health is without a doubt chronic stress. Chronic stress is going to lead to excessive production of cortisol, which is one of the main stress hormones. And cortisol has been shown to have a major impact on the production of testosterone. So as cortisol levels go up, testosterone levels go down, and vice versa. So, this is in fact one of the most important factors here, as chronic stress can impact everything else that we've talked about so far. So, with this in mind, stay aware of your reactions, your emotions throughout the day, and don't give in to stress factors that are not worth your time and your energy. Uh, the fourth factor that's important when it comes to testosterone levels is sun exposure. Contrary to common knowledge, sun exposure allows the production of vitamin D by the body, whereas the organism converts cholesterol to vitamin D. This natural production offers a variety of health benefits, and surprisingly, it may also be effective in the natural production of testosterone. Now, granted, getting enough sun exposure may be a difficult task, nowadays, especially, as many people have a sedentary office job, for the better part of the day. Nevertheless, you want to try and get some consistent sun exposure. And if you've done blood tests that show suboptimal vitamin D levels, you may want to also consider supplementing with vitamin D as well. The next factor that's super important is sleep. So perhaps this may be one of the most critical aspects of how you recover, how you feel, and also how much testosterone your body produces. It's the amount and the quality of sleep that you get every night. Sleep is the link between everything else, between exercise and food. Granted, the amount of sleep needed depends on a variety of factors, but as a general rule of thumb, we can say that we should be getting at least 6 hours of sleep per night is needed for optimal recovery. Some studies say even 7 to 9 hours, but shoot for at least six. And here, some tips to help improve your sleep, or help you stay asleep and also get the best quality sleep possible. One is to work on maintaining sleeping schedule. You want to go to bed at roughly the same time every night, and same thing with getting up in the morning. Avoid eating right before bed. You also avoid screen lights at least 2 hours before bedtime, and avoid going to bed in the late AM. You want to get on the normal day-night cycle of the earth. All right, let all your thoughts go before you fall asleep. So again, just to finish up here, low testosterone levels, again, they're the result of a variety of factors, including but not limited to age, eating habits, and also your physical activity levels. So in a nutshell, here are the things you want to do to increase your testosterone levels naturally. Number one, if you're not lifting weights, make sure you start lifting weights. You want to maintain that. Eat nutritious foods, get a good night's sleep. You want to get some sun exposure, manage the stress levels, and also avoid alcohol and drugs. Once you have all that complete, the fundamental change is completed. And last but not least, stay consistent. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. Till next time. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.